This is Ignitization Webinar Wednesday. Ignitization is designed for people who like to ignite their practice, their business, their life, whatever it is. We just talk about things that we think are going to help you build a business, get fired up about what's happening in today's day and age in technology, in business, in life, parenting. Oh, I have some parenting stories. I might just do a webinar on those, but I have to wait until some of those issues are further resolved. So let's begin. Ignitization is on fire. And for those of you that cannot say the word, it is ignitization. The phonetic spelling, a joke, but borrowed from a dear friend, Mike Michalowicz. If you ever have trouble saying his name, go to his website, click on the little icon on the top right. It's hilarious. Love that guy. He's its leader right now with our buddy Seth David, talking up a storm. And I have been sick, so my voice is a little bit off, but I'm getting better finally. So Ignitization's growing. We've got some new features. Our vodcasts have become very popular. Our live Ignite chat is now every Monday at 9 a.m. The difference between Ignite chat and our live webinars is live webinars are going to be myself and or a guest pretty much preaching, telling a story, giving you information. It's for you to listen. It's not as interactive. Our Monday live Ignite chat, it is a wide open session of gallery discussion. Everybody can chat and talk and just get involved in it. Last week, we had a whole bunch of people on. It was a blast. And we've really enjoyed it. A lot of people learned things and shared things, and we got to meet one another. It's a wonderful thing. So Monday mornings is gallery in Zoom, meaning kind of like the Brady Bunch or Hollywood Squares. You can see us all and we can all chat amongst one another. And our live webinars, as we're doing right now, are just me and or a guest if we have one. We've had Ron Baker and Ed Kless. We've had Mike Michalowicz. We've had, of course, Seth David and Janine Pelosi of Zoom herself. Pretty cool stuff. All of our webinars are live on Wednesday at 9 a.m. and they are recorded for you. You can go back and watch them in the recorded section. Same thing with Ignite Chat and vodcasts. This is all brought to you by 74 Marketing, the parent company, our ProIgnite program, which has helped a lot of people really get their businesses off the ground. And for those of you that like to work with us on a regular basis, we also have our CMO program, which is basically just Ignite month after month after month. We become your chief marketing officer. Okay. If you need to book a 30-minute free consult, they are free. Book them. They go quick. All right. So today we're talking about home automation. So, you know, I say it's easy and it's fun and it's here now, and it also can save you a bundle. But have I learned some lessons? So I'm going to take you through a little bit of it, and I believe I can get I'm going to try to get my iPhone onto the screen. This will be cool. This is a cool feature of iPhone, is that with QuickTime, we can show the iPhone screen recording. I think this is how you do it. Bear with me just a moment. It's been a while since I've done this. Okay, Eric's iPhone 6S Plus. Let's see if that's going to work. And of course, it's going to ask me to unlock. And try one more thing. That's not working. Show you what I'm doing. So with QuickTime, normally, maybe it's movie recording. I don't think so, though. Eric's 6 Plus. What? There it is. We did it. Yay. Thanks for bearing with me. So for those of you that are Mac users, it's a really cool feature. Seth and I figured out how to do this on the Android also. But it allows you to see my iPhone screen. And the reason why I wanted you to see my iPhone screen, not actually this one, but this one, is because I have these cool apps. And they're new to me. One is called Philips Hue, and the other one is called Nest. And Now, I'm just going to tell you straight up, I'm returning the Nest. I love it. It's absolutely a gorgeous piece of equipment. I'll show you a couple of pictures of it real quick, but I'm going to get rid of it because it has not played well with our friends at Apple. Google and Apple don't love each other. So there it is, downloading its update. See that? There's me taking a picture of it. Heat set to 74. And what's really cool about it is that I can control it directly from my iPhone. And I can literally, Angela's upstairs right now, I can literally turn the heat up to whatever I want, and the heat will turn on. And you can see it's in the den. That's where the thermostat is. Now, I obviously don't want to do, oh, heat just went on. That's the orange. So I'm going to turn that back on because I like to keep it around 72 during the day. And it usually gets up to about 74 at night. And that's a really cool feature. Now, what's so great? Again, they're just shut off. So I just turned my heat on and off from a room nowhere near the thermostat using my iPhone connected to Zoom, showing you my iPhone screen on QuickTime. That was pretty cool. So, but why am I returning it? So one of the things that I love about another product I'm going to show you is that I can actually speak to Siri and interact with various things on my Apple device. And Nest won't do it. Why won't Nest do it? Because Nest was acquired by Google. If you've ever heard of a company called Dropcam, who makes those cameras and now thermostats, and now this device, they became Nest. Google acquired them, and Google has decided to develop Weave. Apple has HomeKit. Those are their platforms in which they allow all these devices and different things to talk together. Now, why is it important that your home automation talks together? Do you really want to have 10 apps to turn on your pool light, another one to turn on your outdoor lights, another one to turn on your Malibu lights, another one to turn on the heater, another one to turn on your internal lights, another one to start the washing machine? And if you don't think you're going to do these things, you're wrong. You are, because they're becoming so ubiquitous. They're literally so easy to install, and they really make a difference. And one of the things that's really cool that I love the most, and here I'll switch right now to the Philips Hue app. And what's great about the Philips Hue app is, okay, so first I'll show you, and I only have 3 installed. So these are my lights. So I have living room, master bedroom, dad's side. Angela will get her side soon. And then the third one's in the den. Now I can say, hey, Siri. And she won't work with this app on. Hey, Siri, turn all lights on. That's it. Every light in the house just turned on. And then I can tell her to turn all lights off. Turn the den light on. Now, you'll have to trust me. Turn all lights off. You'll have to trust me that the lights are going on and off upstairs, and they are. And the Siri thing's cool. It's actually really cool in a certain aspect. But if all you had was just this dial, and you could turn on your living room lights by just dragging that slider and your lights turned on, that's a pretty cool thing. And it would be even cooler if you could turn on the den at the same time in the master bedroom. But what's even cooler than all of this is, how many times have we left the house and said, did we turn the lights off? Well, doesn't matter. I'll just touch all off and they're off. So it's really that simple. Here's another really cool feature. They have this feature called geofencing. And with geofencing, when I arrive and it's after sunset all of our lights will turn on. Now I'm going to change the scene, as I'll explain to you in a moment. I'm going to change this once I have more lights. Right now, it's all of our lights. This way, when we're pulling up to the driveway, our phone connects to Wi-Fi, all of our lights turn on. Now, I'm not talking about the Malibu lights outside. I'm talking about the lights inside the house. Okay, so let's go back to why Nest and HomeKit and Apple, Nest being Google, HomeKit being Apple's platform, aren't the best of friends. Ideally, wouldn't it be cool if when I arrived, my lights turned on and my thermostat went on also? Well, there are ways to do it. There's workarounds. But I want them all to work really easily. I want there to be a feature that says if I get home, I can simply choose a scene. Each one of these scenes are a different set of lighting formats. And I want one of them to be set the heater to 74 degrees because that's what Angela likes it to be. Okay, so here's another really cool thing about this Philips Hue system, and they have two different options. Do not make the mistake of buying the older version. It's $199, the Philips Hue hub, which plugs into your router, and literally is that easy to turn on and off, or to install. Anybody can do this, and if not, call me and I'll walk you through it for free. But the truth of the matter is what's so cool about these things is every one of these light bulbs are LED, which means they're running 6 watts, or 6 to 8 watts of electricity for a 60-watt bulb. So think about what you're saving there, okay? Then think about if you're turning your lights off when you leave rather than leaving them on. And, you know, sometimes we want security lights to go on and off. So do that. You can have lights rotate throughout the house, go on for 10 minutes. I'll never forget my mother had my brother and his wife over staying in the guest room. And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and literally all the lights went on. And my brother woke up and he jumped up and he freaked out and he ran in. He's like, "Mom, what's going on?" "Oh, sorry, son. We have them go on every night at 3 o'clock in the morning just as a security thing. And then they shut off 10 minutes later." And she had forgotten to turn this off. These are the kinds of things, you know, I've had a light that turns on and off. It turns on at about dusk and turns off at around 11 o'clock in my living room as long as I can remember. And I've had those night lights that turn on automatically when it's dark and then off, you know, when it turns light. And the light outside my office down below here, which oftentimes I'm here past dark, is auto-censored. If the switch is on, I can walk outside and the light will turn on. Well, I kind of want that light to turn on a little quicker because there's always an animal out there that's running away when I come out. So from now on, what I will do is I will say, and I'm going to say it quietly because she'll hear me, I'll say, "Hey, Siri," and I'll say to her, "Turn on Eric's walking home lights," and she will. It'll turn on the lights that go up the stairs that I need to get to the house safely and not have to fuss. And I know this stuff, it's kind of a little overwhelming, but at the same time, if it was easy enough to do, we would all do it because light switches can be a hassle. And are we being lazy because we're not walking around the house and turning off light switches? No, I love the process of shutting down my house. Closing the doors, locking the doors, closing the blinds, turning off my lights. That's part of my life. I get that. But did we turn on the kids' nightlight? Or, you know, honey, we're an hour away. I don't think I turned the lights off in the backyard. Or I think I left the heater on too high. This is where it costs you money. And when you can save money by automating these processes, or worst case, having on your iPhone, and I don't care where you are in the world, you can turn on and off your lights, your temperature. And I will tell you, there's other devices, a lot of them. There's pretty much a connection on any device. I was talking to my pool guy the other day, and he said, you know, I said, "I hate going down and turning on that pool heater. There's cobwebs and all kinds of stuff." Oh, look, Apple Store. Today's the day. Items in order shipped. So in any event, I'm going to disconnect my Apple device because God only knows what might show up on there in the midst of our conversation. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go back to just me. So in any event, where this all becomes great, is when, like I was saying, I go down to the pool heater. And I said to the pool guy, because we had kids over for Jackson's soccer party, it was my little boy and all of his buddies and parents. And I said, hey, is the pool heater on? And he took care of it for me. I hate going down there. There's cobwebs and it's kind of creepy and whatever. And you have to climb over this stuff and you have to flip open the box and there's a bird's nest on top sometimes. And it's just, I don't want to go in there. And it would be really nice to just turn on the pool heater and turn on the pool light. And for those of you that have Sonos, you know what I'm talking about. Imagine all the things that Sonos does for everything else. Sonos is definitely the leader in home automation when it comes to audio. I'm hoping someday that we'll see more Sonos integration with HomeKit. I know that there's more love on Sonos to the Apple side than the Google side, but I guess we'll find out as that company continues to explode here in Santa Barbara, as it is Santa Barbara's largest employer. They're actually remodeling my old headquarters from a building I once operated out of. So that is an amazing place. So anyhow, so that's home automation, but there's also other great gadgets which I think are really important. And one of those, and this is a Nest product, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to work with this one. But this one is a thermostat. I'm sorry, not a thermostat, a smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector that will not only alert you, but it will actually turn lights on. Again, see how everything's connected? Imagine if your smoke detector recognized that there was seriously a fire and there was smoke in your house, and it turned on your lights to the color that is easiest to see through smoke. I think it's like a reddish color or a bluish color. It's a reason, on the airlines, the strips they have at the bottom, there's certain colors we can see through smoke and what have you. I mean, that's kind of genius, right? And then the drop cam tool or the Nest cameras, they can do the same kind of a thing. For example, all of these things learn. So when you walk out the door and your drop cam camera, which is there for security or to watch the dog or whatever you have it there for, sees you walk out the door every morning at 9 a.m. or whatever time, when that door closes, it thinks, there's no motion in this house right now and the temperature's 78 degrees. I'm going to take the risk of knocking it down to 71. And if the owner doesn't like it, he can come turn it back up. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to appreciate that. Wouldn't you? Now, all of it sounds so complicated, I know, but it's really not. I'm still working through the exact details of the perfect solution. There's a couple of cameras that I'm investigating, and I'm going to come back and do a second piece on this. But I want you all to start looking into home automation because it's starting to happen. There are certain tools that I love. There are certain things that work better than others. And this is not an Apple versus Android conversation. If you're an Android lover, I will have a solution for you on that side. And Nest is one of them because Google owns it. And I don't believe Philips Hue cares. So you can go Nest and Philips Hue. So for anyone who's really interested in any of this, and by the way, on the Apple side, instead of Nest thermostats, it's Ecobee. So if you want to try the thermostat, first check with your electric company, your energy company, find out what they'll pay for towards it. It's $200. A lot of them will pay at least $65, if not more, believe it or not, towards the purchase of one of these devices because they save so much money. They want you to have them. So Ecobee if you're Apple, Nest if you are Android, and that's the thermostat. If you want cameras, I would not buy them yet based on my recommendations because I haven't found the ones that I love. And when I refer to cameras, I'm talking about security cameras or dog watching cameras. We all want to know why the pillow on the couch is flipped over every time we get home. And yet we all know, but don't we want to see the dog do it? And there is Circle from Logi, and there is the drop cam from Nest, and there's all these other ones. The difference is Circle doesn't record for more than a day. Drop cam records up to the cloud, but it has some kind of funky weirdness where it only records when there's motion, and there's a new problem with that, and you have to pay a monthly fee. And then there's a couple of others that I'm investigating. We need to kind of let that evolve a little bit more before we jump on it. But if you do need security cameras, we can have an offline discussion. Now, for anything that is dangerous and there's a concern, there is a solution for that. And for that matter, drop cam would work fine for most cases in that regard. And then these carbon monoxide and smoke detector devices. Honestly, I don't care which one of those you buy, because not having one is ridiculous. And at this point, I'm going to try a couple others. Again, I'll report back. Again, Android, you could go with the Nest one safely. You can go everything Nest on the Android side. On the Apple side, we're going to go Ecobee for the thermostat. I have a solution I'm working on for cameras. And then as far as the smoke detector, again, I'll have to get back to you on that because I'm still researching it. But everybody right now can go out and get the Philips View. Start off with the 3-light pack with the square. You must get the square, not the round, the square box that plugs into your router. You plug that in, you push a button, load the app. It tells you exactly what to do. Screw in your light bulbs and you're done. And I guarantee you, you'll be out buying more light bulbs. Now, here's the catch. The light bulbs are $59 a piece. But before you fall off your chair, they're LED. They use a fraction of the amount of energy as former light bulbs. And they're not LED like those hideous curled ones that we've been buying lately that we don't want, because incandescent balls are pretty much non-existent and we feel guilty using them, or at least we should. They don't look like that. These bulbs look beautiful. They figured out a way to make LED look orange. And by the way, you can change them to any color. So they're orange or blue or they're green or whatever. But here's the other thing. The expected life of a regular light bulb that you buy, a year or two, the expected life of a Philips Hue is about 20 years. Is that true? Only time will tell, but it's a lot longer than a regular bulb. The bulb itself has the transmitter, so you can put them into anything. They have bulbs that go into your regular lamps. They have bulbs that go into the ceiling. They have things that hang from the ceiling. They have little lamps you can put in the kids' rooms. They have little accent lamps with different colors that you can shoot up into the wall. And again, you can change the colors. They have a really cool solution. So start off with the Philips Hue. You'll thank me later. Email eric@74ignite.com if you have any questions about it. I'll post more on ignitization.com. I'll get this video up there as soon as I possibly can.